Welcome to TP201, Transfer Pricing for Tangibles. This is our second video in the series about the resale price method. In our first one, we defined what the resale price method was about using the gross margin. We're going to talk a little bit now about comparability issues and also the idea of an internal versus an external resale price method, or RPM. So what are the important features about comparability for this particular method? Well, different than a cup where you were really very much wanted the product to be identical. So we did an example with cars, and we were saying it's not just that it's a used car, but a used car adjusted for the mileage or adjusted for the number of years old. Here we can deal with things being a little bit different. What we want is a very high degree of similarities of the functions performed by the distributor or the reseller. And in this case, it might be that, say for example, you buy your distributor of electronic goods, you buy TVs from a related party, but you buy DVRs from an unrelated party. How much gross margin you earn on each of those two products should be theoretically about the same, and therefore the products are not similar, but the margin that you would earn on them is expected to be. So similarity of functions performed because you perform the same functions. You'd also want similarity of risks. So for example, with that TV versus DVR, if you're selling the TVs and you bear the warranty risk on that, but when you sell the DVRs you don't, well, that's a significant difference, and you either need to make an adjustment for it or look for a way to find comparables where they have the same amount of warranty risk, let's say. So risks borne are going to be very important. Also the contractual terms. Now we can often deal with this by adjustments, just like we make adjustments when we do the comparable profits method, which is one of the first methods you usually learn, for things like accounts receivable, accounts payable, and inventory. We can do the same kind of adjustments here for a resale price method. And then you want to make adjustments to account for any other differences. So for example, often with the distributor, they may participate, the manufacturer may participate in a sharing of the advertising expense. And if that's a significant sum of money, you might need to make an adjustment for differences between, the uncontrolled transaction that you're using to establish a gross margin reference point and the controlled transaction's gross margin, which you're using as your test statistic. And all of these are described in 482-3, that section on tangible goods. So comparability, again, in this method is less dependent upon a close physical similarity of the products, like if you were selling a 48-inch TV and your related party is the 48-inch TV and your unrelated party is a 37-inch TV, they're very close and you could probably make an adjustment and call that a price adjustment and such. But if it's TVs and DVRs, there's no way to compare one to the other directly, but there is a way to use the gross margin earned on each, and that's what we're doing here with the resale price method. Now I've used the term internal and external. An internal resale price method is where the distributor is distributing one line of product from its related party, that it's purchasing from its related party, and another line of products that it's distributing which it's purchased from an unrelated party. And in that case, we can compare the one gross margin to the other. That's most likely going to produce the best comparability of data because we can control for we'll have all the information for contractual terms and other factors. But it's also feasible to think about using an external RPM, and that's when you compare the gross margin earned by a distributor in its sales to the gross margins earned by other comparable distributors. We're obviously not going to have as much information about those other distributors to make sure that we've got their gross margins are measured on a perfect, say, apples to apples basis, but it still may be a more reliable approach than other transfer pricing methods. And in our next video, we'll talk about some of the times when a gross margin might be a better method than, say, a CPM. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'd love to get your likes or comments and feedback on it so that we can improve these videos as we go forward. Have a great day.